What's going on, y'all? We are back again tonight. I have a very special guest, Marlia Hall. She's going to be digging in, talking about the importance of accountability, the importance of coaching, the importance of getting your mind right as you elevate and get ready for your next level. So y'all are going to love tonight's conversation. I'm probably going to save it on my page and allow y'all to have access to the replay. So y'all tap in. Y'all come on in, waiting for Marlia to join us, and then we're going to get it in. Gonna be a dope conversation. Y'all looking at my vision board on the back. All right, where is Marlia? She should be joining us soon. What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Let's see where Marlia is. Got a special guest for y'all tonight. Waiting for her to join. All right. Hopefully y'all day was good. I'm gonna tap in. Get some really great information tonight. It's a beautiful day. While we wait, where y'all from? I really want to do a better job getting to know my audience. My friends, my family members. Call y'all my friends and my family members. Where y'all from? What city do you live in? Where you from? Frisco, Texas. Okay, that's what's up. I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio, for those who don't know, the best city in the world. Hey, Stacy K. Georgia. Okay, that's what's up. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, the amazing Cleveland, Ohio. Best city in the entire world. That's what I believe. All right, so while we wait on Marlia to come, I do want to talk about tonight elevating your brand. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Alpharetta, okay. Johns Creek. Okay, I definitely heard of Alpharetta before. But I want to talk about like elevating our brands tonight until Marlia jumps on. So there she go. There she go. I was waiting on you. I don't know where you was at, Marlia. Here you go. Okay, let's see here. There she go. All right. Yep. Okay, she should be in now.
That's funny. So you want to know where I was at? I was actually on my stories reading a book, Make a Living. I was waiting on you to get on, and I was like, let me just read to my people. You know, I love to read books, and why not encourage people to make a living while living, doing what they love? So I was just reading. Okay, but I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Your face seems kind of cut off, so I don't know if you need to.
Do you see me now?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little cut off before. All right, so for those that don't know, like tell the people, who you are and what exactly you do.
All right. My name is Marlia Hall. I am a wife, a mother of six. I'm a business owner. I own a publishing company with my husband, a marketing agency that I'm helping him run, as well as my own life consulting company. All day, every day, I'm really helping people to walk further into their dreams, helping them to really live the dream, which I believe is working less than 20 hours a week, doing what you love. So I just teach people how to get really intentional with their time and the work that they do, and I just make it all work together well for them.
Well, let me ask you this right from the start, Marley. Is it really possible for somebody to be just working 20 hours a week? Is that realistic in this day and age?
Yes, it is so realistic for people to work less than 20 hours a week. Like I've been doing it for the past few years. I know you've been doing it. Like 40 hours isn't necessary. If the pandemic didn't teach us anything, there's a lot of different ways that we can make a living, and we don't need to be strapped to computers or in these offices all day. Like there's other ways.
Absolutely. Okay. So, if I'm somebody that is working a full-time job, I might not like my job, but like, what is that first step that I should take way before I start thinking about an exit strategy?
So you're a person right now who knows that you are not happy with the work that you're doing, and you know that there is a step that needs to be taken. I would first decide, what does that step look like? Because entrepreneurship isn't everybody's next step. Sometimes people are in a job that they don't like, and all they can do is just move to another job. So I would say first decide, what are you wanting to do? You know you need to make income. You know you need to provide for your family. Either you're going to go work for somebody else, or you're going to establish something where all the money is coming to you, and maybe you hire some people to help you do it. But you need to make that decision before making any decisions. You want to work for someone else, or you want to be the boss?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so for that same example, let's just say now I know that I want to leave my job, or I might be that person that's already a business owner, but I really want to take you up on this offer of working 20 hours or less a week. Um, like, what do you think is required to start getting yourself prepared? Is it more so mindset first, or do I start taking immediate action? Like, what should be some of those steps?
I definitely believe that mindset is crucial to creating any act, because a lot of us have a lot of strength to just act and do things that we don't always want to do, but we won't stay committed if we don't have the mindset. So I would begin maybe listening to some books from amazing authors like Tim Ferriss, who created the 4 Hour Work Week. There are a couple other entrepreneurs who really specialize in reducing your hours, making more or less time. Like, start mentally preparing so that you can start seeing the thing you want to do, and then start implementing very specific strategies. Like, if you're a person right now that is already scatterbrained, that is exhausted after working 8 hours a day, and you're still not getting anything done, there's some efficiency issues that you already have that need to start getting worked out before you think that you can make a whole bunch of money in less time. So I would definitely say start with a mindset, and then start implementing the strategies that work for you to work less and make more.
Okay. But like you said, it is definitely possible to start doing that. But do you have any steps and tips for us to? Because you said thinking is a large part of this, but do you got any steps for us to take if we're like, man, I done read all these books and I didn't listen to, I done did affirmations, but like, what do you think is missing? Do you think that there's some type of disconnect if I'm that person that's been reading a whole lot? I think I'm doing affirmations. Could it be that I might not be doing it right, and I'm not really allowing this stuff to really just sit inside of me? Like help us walk through that part.
A lot of times I do find that people are not doing the meditations and they're not doing the affirmations right. Like, a lot of the things that we say sometimes only hit the surface. Like, our affirmations can maybe just touch our ears, but never touch our heart, never actually make an imprint in our inner being. So I do believe that there are oftentimes many people that might be doing the work, but they're just not doing the work right or doing the work well. And that's something that can be changed. But oftentimes, though, there I do see is this disconnect where people are taking all of these actions, but what is inside their heart and what's inside of their mind isn't right. Like, they're taking these actions, but they have self-doubt, or they're, speaking on stages, but they're really lacking this confidence. It's just like, you'll never hit that next level of what's inside isn't right. But when you get right inside, and when a person is right inside, everything on the outside changes, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I would say that it's definitely some type of disconnect in their programming. Like, maybe they've just gotten to a place of it being robotic or routine, and it's not really who they are. They just know how to fake it really well.
Okay. So how important are habits for us as entrepreneurs and business owners?
Habits are everything. I really believe that our life, whether you have a good life or a bad life, is based off of a bunch of habits. You have spending habits, you have eating habits, you have habits within your relationship that ultimately make you who it is that you are. If you do want to be a successful entrepreneur, if you do want to make money in your sleep and make more money in less time, you're going to have some really serious habits. The mindset is one. Every single day, you need to be putting things inside your mind, inside your heart, that are going to keep you on this path. You don't want to be a person that's easily distracted, or a person that's easily shifted just because something happened. I don't know if you guys have any of like those frantic friends and those frantic family members that are always calling you because you're the one who's like the problem solver. But in many times, there are entrepreneurs who will literally be on this path to success, but family members will pull them away, and they have the habit of just always being drawn or always being swayed and distracted. It's like you'll never get where you want to go when you're always dividing your time like that. So you want to have habits. You want to have work hours, consistent work hours. Like for me, I like to get all my work done before noon. If I could have it my way, I would get everything done before 10 a.m. so that I have from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. to do whatever, be with whoever, you know? Millionaires, billionaires all day long. You open up any book that talks about the most successful people, these people have very consistent habits. They're always reading, they're always learning, they're always growing. They're very efficient with their time. They wake up really, really early. They take care of their bodies, you know? So if you're taking care of all these things, you will most likely have a life that's taken care of. But if you're not putting these things in place, your life is just going to continue to be a life that just things are out of place. There is no order. You're always working. You're always tired. You're always busy, and you don't produce anything.
That's deep. That's a really good point. We had a question that said, what is advice for someone that realizes the disconnect? So based off of what you're talking about, they realize that disconnect. So what?
Because there's a disconnect and you've been doing whatever methods you've been doing for this long, I would say it would be a good time for you to get another party involved. I do believe in seeking wise counsel. And sometimes it's just a sounding board. Sometimes you just need a person to ask you the right questions or even coach you through the process. Like for some of my girls, they have had such a hard time with getting their words and their feelings, their emotions and thoughts to all connect. And sometimes that's just the practice. You being able to see the thing that you desire, you being able to feel that thing, you being able to say it and all of that. Like sometimes that's just our process. So I would say get a third party involved that you really trust with saying, hey, this is where I am. This is what's going on. This is what I've been doing. This is where I want to be. And them just walk you through that process. Test it out for a little while. See if it works.
So really, accountability to ourselves is not really that good.
I'd say accountability to ourselves can be good, but it's always best to have somebody else that you're accountable to, you know? And that could be just because you are so great, you're so amazing, but you can sometimes just sit in your greatness and amazingness and never even go to the next level. Like I always believe that we as humans can grow more, can learn more, can evolve more. So if nobody's holding you to that process of growth, you might just get stagnant, you know, because we just get like that. So I just think accountability is great in every area, from business and in personal and in your real life.
Yeah. But you know, one of the things that was challenging for me early on when I didn't have a coach, finally hired a coach, was, how can I put this? I'm afraid to be that vulnerable to someone and admit that basically I didn't have it all together. Like, talk to that man, talk to that woman that's thinking, look, I do want some help, but that's going to make me admit that I'm not as dope, as perfect as I thought I really was.
Well, you're not. You're not. I'm not. Manny's not. Michelle Obama isn't. Nobody is perfect, you know? But I also do believe that we overcome by the testimonies and the stories that we tell. And sometimes it's because we've not opened up that we're not able to get that next step, that answer. Vulnerability is very scary, but what's the worst that could happen? What? You tell somebody that you're not perfect. You tell somebody that you've been putting on this image in a facade and they laugh at you. They say, hi, you know, or you're fake. This one person says that there's billions of people in this world. There's billions of people that will empathize with you, that will see you right where you are, that will guide you to where there's so many people. The worst thing that can happen, it gets on Twitter or on the news that you are a fraud or fake. A lot of people are. A lot of people are just pressing through. But it's my hope that you will get connected to somebody who will see you right where you are. You'll be brave enough to share, and you'll be led to such a beautiful place. And you will know that it was because you shared your testimony that you were able to come, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, when you think about accountability, is It's really allowing somebody to hold you accountable towards the amazing dreams and gifts that you said that you had and the impact that you said that you was going to make on the world.
Yeah.
Many times, like, we don't want somebody to hold us accountable to those things because it's that person actually saying as a reminder, hey, you got to do the work. Hey, you being lazy, not doing nothing. Are you reading the books? Are you reading these affirmations daily? Are you feeling them? Are you visualizing?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a successful person, or are you waiting to get that one big client to now make you feel justified in your gifting? Then you can show the world more. Or
Right.
are you already confident no matter where you are? Heck, you might be somebody listening right now that haven't had a client in 3 months. You might be somebody that's never had a paying client. Don't trip, don't be discouraged. If you believe that you are a successful entrepreneur, a successful business owner, then that means it's on the way. It's literally this law. I'm not sure if you're hip to it. It's called the law of gestation,
Yes.
meaning that it's a process that everything has to go through. And it doesn't mean that each tree outside is going to go through the same amount of time, because depending on where that tree lives and is going to be rooted, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 30 years, like some trees, depending on what's needed, what nutrients have to go inside of this particular seed for that thing to blossom and produce the type of fruit that it is. Do you think you're going to have the same process from an orange tree to an apple tree, from a
Right.
pineapple tree to a kiwi tree? It's going to be a different process. So you got to think about who the heck you want to be. You said you want to be this amazing coach that speaks from the stage. Everybody hires you. You make $50,000 a pop every
Yeah.
time you speak. You
Yeah.
have $25,000 mastermind programs, right? You
Yeah.
might be that coach and say, you know what, I want to charge $2,000 an hour. I want to do it. You
But you
can do it, but guess what? You got to look at that type of coach, at that type of speaker, that type of entrepreneur, and what kind of behavior do they exemplify on a daily basis? What type of habits do you think that person has? And literally just copy, reverse engineer the process. It is literally that easy, but it's taking yourself out of the equation and knowing that you're not going to be able to do it all alone. Listen, I had to hire a coach. You're going to have to hire a coach. And I'd rather you go with myself or Marlia, or I see that my sister Kelly's on. You could go
I
hire
see
Kelly. She's
Kelly.
super dope
Yes.
too. You take your pick based off of your personality, based off the vibe of that person. But you're gonna have to hire somebody to get to the next level. I thought for years that I could watch YouTube videos, I could watch other people's live videos on Instagram, and I was gonna be good. I figured like if I watched enough of them, I was gonna get all the information that I needed, and I was gonna be the bomb just like they were. But here's what happened: as I elevated and did all the work by myself, I got to this point that I couldn't move forward because there was some information that I needed a coach to give me. There was somebody that I needed to review my business, to get a better understanding of what I was doing, to say, Manny, this is an area that you're tripping on that you're not actually capitalizing. When I first hired my coach, you know what he asked me? He said, how many books do you read a day? I said, well, what do you mean? Well, what book am I reading right now? How many books I read a day? I don't read any books. Like, he said, well, Manny, you're not going to be successful if you don't read books. I said, well, hold up. Who this dude think he is telling me that I can't be successful if I don't read no books? I don't got to read
Oh,
no books. I got Jesus on my side, right? I pray, I fast. Like, Jesus is enough. It wasn't enough, y'all. Because even God, in his word, he said he'll bring back to remembrance, right? He'll bring back to remembrance that which you read and studied. If ain't nothing in you, how's he going to use it? I'm going to just give you a quick little Bible study real quick. Quick little Bible study. The little boy brought his fish and loaves to this banquet, to this event where Jesus was speaking at, right? God was able to use what this little boy had brought. He sent that up towards heaven and said, God bless it. And then everybody was able to eat. But it was something to work with. We are creators here on this earth, if you didn't know that. God was a creator. We're made in his image and likeness. We're also creators. But here's the thing. You can't create out of formless substance, meaning if nothing exists like God did, there was nothing there. He said, let there be light, let there be earth. There's going to be a boom. There's going to be this right here. He did that through formless substance. We can't do that, but we can look at everything that's already here on this earth, and we can create from there. That life that you want, you can have it, but you got to create it. You got to stop thinking that you're going to be able to do it all by yourself. There's some people, some amazing coaches, consultants, great people that's going to help you get to the next level. I'm not saying that you got to hire me or Marlia or Kelly, who's I think is still on, or maybe some other great coaches and so on. I'm not saying that you got to hire any of us. I'm saying that you need to hire somebody to help you get to the next level. You're going to have to hire somebody. And if I were you, I would make that decision a lot sooner than later and stop waiting for this magical moment, for this confirmation from God.
Come
He didn't
on.
give you enough confirmations. You said that you wanted to change life. You said you wanted to go to the next level. He keeps presenting you with opportunities, but you keep saying, no, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. The one I'm hoping for is free and I ain't got to do no work. That's the one I
Oh,
want. No, the
oh,
one that you're going to get to the next level with is something that you're going to have to pay for. Why? Because when you pay attention. I didn't talk enough, Marlene. Please give us some more,
when
guy.
you pay attention. Oh my goodness. So I feel like one of my coaches said something similar to that too. Is that one thing, like when you're not actually putting any skin in the game, there's no teeth, you don't care. You don't care if it's a little $50. You don't really care about a little $99 investment. But if you invest $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 into something, it's gonna cause you to wake up. Where's my money going? I better get all the things that so and so said because I didn't put this money. I'm gonna tell you
Yep.
about a money experience. This is years ago before I met you. I said I wanted to get in real estate. I was told, rumor had it, that the real estate world was a great space to be in. And I said, all right, Marlia, if you really about this, you're going to have to pay to play. Like, I understood that. I was in different rooms, listening to what people were saying. You're going to have to invest. I was going to have to invest my time. I was going to have to invest maybe studying, also invest in a mentor. I took a 2-day class right here in Cleveland, Ohio, where I paid someone $1,500 to walk me through the process of getting my first investment property, y'all. 2 days. I had them from like 10 to 3 o'clock on a Saturday, 10 to 3 o'clock on a Sunday. But I walked away, y'all, having my own investment property. I had to pay to play. That money, was it a lot of money at that time? Yeah, but it was worth it. You know what? You can't put a dollar amount on you living your dream. If your dream costs 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 2 million for you to invest to get in it, pay to play, get into it. I can't imagine living a life where it just wasn't satisfying. Every day felt like hell on earth. And I knew that there were people that weren't as smart as I was, that didn't have all the resources, and they're just out here live like, no, why not me? You
Mm,
know?
mm,
And I think that sometimes people really need to ask themselves, like, what is it about me
mm,
that I won't allow myself to move forward? Like, do I not think that I deserve it? Have I not cried enough? Have I not
mm,
sacrificed enough? Have I not told
mm,
enough people no? Have I not gone to school? Like, what is your thing?
mm,
Because you do deserve all of it. Every single vision that God has showed you, every single idea that has dropped into your head, none of that is by mistake. I am
mhm,
believing that if you just stick with it, and I mean stick with it, sticking with it isn't 6 months. Sometimes sticking with it is a 2 full years before you see a return on your investment. But if you stick with it, when I say you will see the fulfillment of something that will make your heart just do all the things, you'll have so much peace, so much love, so much purpose. You'll go to bed at night excited about your new day,
yeah.
because the life that you live is a complete dream because you took the time to learn and you stuck with something. Like, y'all go ahead. I don't even know what that was about, but did you have some more questions?
Yeah, I mean that's good. So, when tell us your journey, like what's your mindset and your rethinking about yourself. Like, there's a great book, Psycho Cybernetics, that you read, right? Like talk about the way that we see ourselves and how that can limit us or help us so by the way that we see ourselves.
So your perception of yourself really is your reality. Your perception of anything is the reality in your mind. So, for instance, there was a very long time that I could only see myself working 40 hours a week at a location that took me away from my home, took me away from my family, doing work that I hated. In my mind, this was the only way that I could bring in this amount of money in this time frame for
And what
whatever
did you
reason.
do? What
I
what,
used
what
to work
job
for
did
the
you have?
I used to work for the government, And I was in a department that managed money, and there were some things that I did not like, but it made me money and it paid for my lifestyle. So, um, yeah. And I felt that for me and my family to have these experiences and for me to, I don't know, do all the things, buy all the things, go on all the trips, I had to do this thing. But on that journey, I did get very frustrated. And when I got frustrated, I started to seek out material. I would go on YouTube and read books. And I kind of used to allow my imagination to drift. And I would just see myself doing something different. Like I saw myself speaking on stages. I saw myself working with women. I saw myself making people believe in things that they never saw possible. Crazy thing, I was doing that same thing at my job when I wasn't dealing with the money and all the stuff that goes on in the government world. I was inspiring people to do the little things that they want to do. Like, oh, sis, you want to go sing again? Like, what? Go take some classes. Like, you can do that. Oh, you want to dance? There's a place right here. Oh, whatever. Like, I was just always like, I think you could do that. I know you're 45, but I think you can try. I was always that person that always just saw and believed. But it wasn't until I really got connected to an amazing individual that told me about the book Think and Grow Rich. It helps people to develop like this money mindset, and it helps you to really be able to see the possibilities in who you are and what you can do. So I read that book. I listened to the book on YouTube, actually. I listened to it in less than 14 days, and like, my mind was just like, oh, honey, you're amazing. You can do amazing things. Nothing is impossible. You know what I'm saying? So, and that kind of, I think, shifted everything. I really started seeing myself doing work that I love. I started having all these really creative ideas like, oh, and I could do this and I could do this. And then as I started to see this thing, people were like drawn to me. People either needed the thing that I wanted to share with the world, or there were other people who were like, ooh, I want to do this too. I want to leave my job too. Let's build businesses. Let's save people, like, and all these things. And it literally just shifted when I just saw myself different. And now I see all of these possibilities. Now I'm making money in my sleep. Now I work less than 20 hours a week. But it literally started with me getting the right material that helped me to just think a little bit differently and see a little bit differently. And then I just had to apply it.
Yeah, no, what was that process like? Like, what did you have to do on a daily basis, habit-wise, to change?
So habit-wise, I had to start meditating. In meditation, if you do not know, if there's anything that you want to change, like any belief systems that you have about yourself, about your abilities, even about this world, it can be changed through meditation. So I meditated a lot. I meditated on God's word. I started, and if y'all haven't, there's so many scriptures about prosperity and wealth and your well-being. Like, God really wants you to be blessed. But I started meditating on scripture. And then I also started meditating on just I am affirmations about me being confident, or me being powerful, or me being a good speaker. I used to get tongue tied every time I open my mouth. I have all these teeth and this big old tongue, and it was so difficult for me to articulate things that I wanted to say. So I would just shut up and not say anything. So meditation was huge for me. Another thing that was a part of the mindset shift was I had to start speaking these statements. In the Think and Grow Rich method, he wants you to make a decision on one thing that you want to do or become. Don't do a whole bunch of things, just one thing at a time. So there was one very specific thing that I wanted to make happen in my life. And so we have to then fix our thoughts and our words around these things. And if you're a believer, you know that your words have power. They have the power to create life or death, like literally create in your life. So because I wanted this one thing to happen, I had to start speaking into it, and I had to start meditating on it. And literally within 30 days of me speaking and meditating on the same thing, to the shift to happen in my life, it happened. And since then, I've been doing the same thing over. Of course, there are some practical things, like if you want to grow a business, you're going to have to get out your comfort zone and maybe share your products and service with the world. You might have to have a website or create a landing page. You might have to network with people, But as you start affirming yourself and you start doing the mindset and hard work, your eyes will just be open to what your next steps are supposed to be. You'll start to hear clearly from God. You'll start to see signs in your world saying, call this person, or, post this post, or develop this product, and you just go with it. And it usually leads you to really great success.
That's what's up. So I hope y'all are listening and that y'all taking some notes. Put a 1 in the chat if you're getting anything out of this. If you're getting some type of help, I'm telling y'all, this is the type of game that these practical things that you can change within your business, within your life, you can literally reach all the success that you want. So y'all put it number 1 in the chat if you're receiving something out of it. If you're not receiving nothing, go ahead and put a 2. If you're not receiving nothing out of this, put a 2 in the chat. If you're receiving something, get a 1 in the chat, and then go share it with somebody else. Share this with your coworker that you work with, that you keep trying to convince that they need to branch off and start their business. Like, this the type of conversation that'll be extremely useful for them to hear. Tell this to your business bestie. Like, share it with some of the folks on your page so they can really get to the next level. And don't be selfish with this information. Listen, we want all of y'all to go to the next level and advance. And look, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, like, my story real quick on habits was, I thought that it was okay to continue to wake up doubting myself. I thought it was okay to be walking in fear and intimidation. Like, and I was one of those people that was afraid what they had to say. And we don't even know who they are. They don't even have a name in your head, but you like, man, they gonna say this, they gonna say that. Get they out of your head. From this moment forward, I want you to operate with this tenacity of knowing who the heck you are, like knowing who you are as well as whose you are. Now, me as a Christian believer, y'all know this, I believe that I'm God's son, right? I believe that God got my back no matter what. I know who I am God's son, and I know whose I am his. And since I am his, and since I walk in my power, I can have whatever I want. I don't have to be fearful. I don't have to be intimidated by anything or anyone. I can walk in authority. This is that day. This is that day, y'all, that y'all make a decision to start walking in your authority. Start walking in your power. You were made to be doing some incredible things. You got to start that today. And this conversation is really geared towards letting you know that you got permission, because for some reason, somebody has taken away your permission slip. Y'all remember back in the day when you had to go to school, you was going to go on a field trip, but you had to get the permission slip signed. I was that kid that waited till the last minute to get the permission slip signed, and I didn't get it signed in time. I couldn't go, y'all. I couldn't go on the field trip because I didn't get the doggone permission slip signed. I want you to know that there is no permission slip this time. There is no permission slip. You ain't got to get nothing signed. You got permission from this day forward to walk in all of your dreams. Don't trip about the number of followers you got. Don't trip about how many people on your email list. Don't trip about what circles you in and who knows you and how popular you are. Don't even trip about any of that. There is no permission slip this time. You can literally walk in your authority, in your power. I dare you to get on a live video in the next few days. I dare you to do this. Now I'm putting out a challenge. I'm putting out a challenge for some of y'all that will go to the next level. I'm putting out a challenge for you to go live on your page in the next few days. Because in going live, you're going to show that part of you that keep doubting and being fearful that, oh no, I'm a bad sister, I'm a bad brother. Like, hey, I'm not scared. I can do this. Mm-hmm. You're going to convince this other part of you that is nervous and doesn't believe in themselves, like, oh no, I'm capable. Simply by taking steps towards faith, you're going to walk in more faith. You're going to go to the next level. I'm not sure if this is for everybody. All right, Stacey, great job. Great job, Stacey.
She did.
Great job. Everybody, go live at least one time this week. If you want to take this challenge to the next level. If you're a business owner or thinking of starting your business, listen, it's time for you to tap in. It's time to stop playing around, y'all. Listen, your life is much more serious than you really think it is. Like, you don't realize, but when you woke up today, you'll never live another day like you did yesterday. That one is gone. Today was a brand new day. And guess what? Today is not going to be anything different than tomorrow. But you have to now decide that you're going to take authority over your days right from the morning. Right from the morning, you're going to tap in and say, I am a success. You're going to tap in right in the morning and say, I am having an amazing day. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I have a successful business. But it's these type of habits that as you form them, you'll literally become these type of people. Because I was stuck for a long time in fear. Fear kept stopping me until I acknowledged and said, listen, fear, I get it that you're trying to protect me because I never did some of the stuff that I'm doing right now, but I'm okay, fear. You ain't got to keep sending me warning signs. You ain't got to keep telling me that this is dangerous ground. You ain't got to keep sending me text messages and phone calls and sending birds to message me. I don't want to see none of that, fear. I don't even need to know. I'm about to just walk in my authority and do what I got to do. Marlia,
Yes.
the type of clients that you work with, describe the type of clients that you work with.
The type of clients that I work with are pretty much all leaders in their industries. These are already managers or teachers, educators. Like, they're the leaders who want to just save the world type of people. My client, though, is very tired of working so many hours. They want to be back home with their family. They want to travel. They want to get tiny homes in Texas, and all those type of things. My girls are also people who have like a real mission, though. It's not all about the money for them. It's about impact and income. They really want to walk in their purpose. They believe they've been called to do something great. They have stories to tell. Those are my clients. But they also are people who struggle with their daily habits. They struggle with my time management. They have self-confidence issues. Some of them are afraid of video and sharing their stories. But they're really amazing women who have so much to share. It's just getting over these little things that are keeping them stuck.
Okay. And what was something that kept you stuck before you kind of got, crazy and started doing your business?
TV. I was stuck in TV for a long time. I was stuck on social media and watching TV for a really long time. That might not be something that people get caught up in, but I could literally at one time in my life spend hours on social media scrolling, liking, commenting, loving for hours. And I could also watch TV for hours. So I know for me, a large part of me not being able to have a successful business at the beginning because I didn't spend any time invested in my business. I always wanted to just, be on my phone, be entertained, or be out kicking it with people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had just a really hard time with staying focused. So that was one of the hardest things, was just like, you kind of got to get serious. You kind of have to get focused. You kind of got to spend a few hours every week on this for this thing to grow. And since shifting that and getting a little bit more disciplined, I've been able to do that. And then I think another part, I had a hard time with charging people.
Hmm.
In the beginning, I felt really guilty for not giving people things because I was always such a nice person and I was always a people pleaser my entire life. So like whatever I had to do to get someone to accept me or to say job well done, I was willing to do it, even if that meant doing it for free. So I had to, with the help of a coach, really level up my mindset and see the worthiness of me getting paid for the things that I did and that I created. So that was another thing that I really had to work very hard on.
Okay. So working with this coach early on to really help you understand that you can command your price, you can increase your price, you're worthy of some type of money. Like, what was there a process for you to finally get what they were saying?
Yeah, there was a process, and I'll be honest, I think I did a little bit of pushback in the beginning too. Like, as you know, sometimes I could be a little bit combative with my words. So I know in the beginning, I had just like a lot of questions and, like it's just not me, or I don't feel comfortable. But through some of the exercises that I tried, and as I just continued with it, I finally was able to rise to that level and say, all right, this is it. This is what I'm doing. And if they don't like it, then they're not for me. Like, I think that's something that we also have to realize, that not everybody is our client. Not everybody is our potential customer. Would that be cool? Like, yeah, then you just have like a really, really big business that everybody loves. But like, realistically, not everybody's going to say yes to you. But just know that there are some people that are literally waiting. Like, one of my coaches was talking about how people literally have their next paycheck already rationed out. Like, this has to go to the car note, this has to go to the mortgage, this is going to vacation in the summer and all those things. Like, people have money and they want to spend it. You just need to put yourself in a position for them to spend it with you. People all day, especially if your clientele is women, they spending money on hair, nails, makeup, trips, Starbucks, food. Women spend so much money. You just have to position yourself, your product, your service in a way that would make them want to ration out a few $100s out of each check for you. And I actually had a client who was just like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to work with you. Is there any way that you can allow me to pay you every Friday that I get paid? I can't put it all on a credit card right now. All my credit cards are maxed out. I can't do what I want to do. But I know that if you can just allow me to pay you every Friday, you'll have a payment. Let's go. I'm okay with that. Let's do it, you know? So there are people out there that will pay you.
That makes sense. Okay, so tell them how they can get in touch with you. For those that might want to work with you, make sure that y'all hit the arrow right at the top. If y'all not following Marlia, hit the arrow right at the top. You'll see your name, go to her page, and make sure that y'all follow them. But how can they get in contact with you? Like what courses or anything that you got set up?
They can get in contact with me directly by selecting the link in my Instagram bio. The very first tab says, speak with me directly. Press that tab, say whatever you want to say. All right. The second way is I have an amazing academy that women can join at any time. It's called the Loving Me Freely Academy. It is only $7 to join because I know that there are women who I can't afford to learn. This entire platform will walk you through any process that you need to learn, from how to make money in your sleep is on my site, to learning how to forgive yourself and others, because that's a part of you growing and excelling. You can't always move forward in your business if you're holding on to baggage from the past. Self-healing, time management, learning your purpose, all of these wonderful things are on the site, and it's only $7 a month. You can go to lovingmefreely.com/academy, and you could just learn, be a self-guided student, and walk through that process. But if you want to speak with me on a weekly basis, you can choose the all access version, and you can talk to me every week, and we'll talk about your purpose. We'll talk about your prosperity. We'll talk about your peace and all those things. And me and my team will just advise you on how you can be more and have more of the things you want in your own individual life. But yeah, if you want to talk about anything, just send me a message. Select the link in my bio.
All right, that's cool. So there was another comment. Go ahead. Can you tackle that?
I don't see it. Okay.
Yeah, I also have had the fear of charging people for my handmade jewelry. You see that one?
Handyman project. I'm slowly changing. I'm so glad that you are slowly changing. It's my hope that you will quickly get to a place of realizing that so much goes into the work that you do. Your heart, your energy, your time, the relief that your client is going to experience when they're able to go into their job shining with those new earrings and their cute little sweaters. They was feeling they didn't have any confidence until they put your jewelry on. You can't pay for confidence, okay? You cannot. So I need you to start seeing that end result that you're giving your clients when you're making them feel amazing in their sweaters and in this jewelry and all the time that you put, and then put a price on it, okay? People are out here buying jewelry for all sorts of dollar amounts. They can buy it from you too. And you're going to thank yourself afterwards too.
Yeah, absolutely, and it goes back to, for those that just tapped in, watch the replay of this. Is going to be posted on my page, but you got to see yourself as the successful person first. You cannot have the success if you don't believe that you are that type of person that should have it. Otherwise, you'll continue to be a spectator on the sidelines and wishing that everybody else be successful, praying for everybody else's business, but never walking in it yourself, because that's not how you see yourself. And within our subconscious mind, for those who don't know, you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is probably about 5 to 10% on throughout the day. 90 to 95% of the time you're operating from your subconscious mind, which is all these programs, belief systems, habits that you're literally going off of throughout the day. That's why they say it's 30 to 60 days before you can actually change a habit, because you need to be doing it as a routine. But if you start to believe in yourself now, starting today, don't wait till tomorrow, starting today, write you out some affirmations that's going to hit home for where you are. Go to YouTube, listen to some of the affirmations already posted there. Get to the point where you believe in yourself. And this is for the sister that was talking, commenting about her business, as well as everybody else. Like, get to the point where you're tapping in and you're believing in who the heck you are. You got to stop playing, y'all. Listen, I will be your coach tonight. If you grant me permission, just let me be your coach. Let me and Marlia just for a minute be your coach and spit some game and truth where nobody else is listening. It's just me and you right now. If I can be your coach for at least 30 seconds, go ahead and put yes in the chat. Just put yes in the chat if myself or Marlia can just be your coach for the next 30 seconds to a minute and give you some game.
And I'm going to
Whether
show
y'all
them
say
my
yes or not, I'm
affirmations.
about to give you this game. What'd you say, Marlia?
I'm going to show them my affirmations. Can y'all see them? There's one that I look at every day. Can you guys see it?
Can you read that, Marlia?
I sure can. For the good of all and with harm to none, $50,000 is on its way to me. It belongs to me and is used how I choose. I thank God in advance. I focus on the abundance I already have and the overflow of abundance on its way. I will be surprised at the speed and ease at which it manifests in my life. I expect the money to come to me within a few hours, but no more than a few days. And so it is. And then I say in Jesus' name, amen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So look, y'all, like those are affirmations. And since you granted me permission, for those that said yes, listen, y'all, listen to me closely. This life that you want to live, you can literally be living it. You can live this amazing life that you see other people live, the one that you've been praying about. The Bible says that he can do more than you can ask, hope, or think. So that means that some of the stuff that you're thinking about, praying about, that's so small compared to what he can do in your life. But starting tonight, the homework assignment is for you to start thinking about what you've been thinking about. Some of these thoughts is literally you just been letting go by, like no big deal. Like, it's okay for me to keep doubting myself. It's okay to think that I can only stay in this apartment for the rest of my life, and I keep updating the furniture, making it seem like a new place, because deep down inside I might not believe that I can get up out of here. I keep thinking that I should just support everybody else's business in hopes that maybe somebody will support mine because I keep supporting everybody else's. No, it don't work like that, because your motives is all wrong. I'm telling you, starting today, starting tonight, I want you to start thinking about what you've been thinking about. If you've been thinking about some amazing positive thoughts, I want you thinking more about those.
Yes.
Start to focus on all the things that you're already thankful for within your life. Start to think about, man, you know what? I absolutely love that I have this couch that's right in front of the TV and this position correctly. I can watch all my shows. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I can go into my refrigerator and I can grab something to eat. I'm thankful that I can pour myself some clean drinking water with no poison and no toxins in it. I can pour myself some clean water. I'm thankful for the opportunity to listen to Manny right now, listen to Marlia right now, because they are giving me instructions in order for me to go to the next level. And me as your coach, I'm asking you to do the work now.
Yeah.
Listen, you've been that person that has heard other people talk about the benefits of affirmation, the benefits of reading books, the benefits of getting your mindset together. And you think that you can just put it off. You just want to hear all the fluff on how to make $1 million tomorrow without doing the work. I'm telling you right now, all the successful people that you like and admire all over Instagram, they're doing the work. And the work is getting a mindset together.
That's
From some of the superstars that got 1 million followers to the people that's consistently making $1 million, they're doing the work every single day because they know that if they allow these negative thoughts to slip by, it will literally transform their life in a negative way.
Yeah.
Thoughts become things. Y'all don't realize that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but thoughts become things. So when I got the news that my mom had passed away, there was words that came out of my sister's mouth. Well, actually, my wife, the one that told me, because my sister called her. So my wife came and said, hey, I got some news for you. She told me that my mom had passed away, right? Immediately hearing those words, it became a thought of, wow, my mom is no longer here on this earth. And it immediately made my heart feel some type of way. It made my body feel like it sinked in. It made me feel anxious. It made me feel sad. It made me feel stressed out and somewhat depressed, all because of a thought. Because of one thought. Now think
that if you planted some right seeds right in the beginning of your morning and said, I'm great, I got this, I see 30 clients coming to me, I got a successful business, that was a thought, that thought will become a thing. Next thing you know, you will have all these clients pouring in. Next thing you know, you will have a successful business because you started with that thought. You said I could coach you for a minute. For those that just jumped in, please put a yes in the chat to let me know that I have permission to be able to coach you for the next 30 seconds to a minute. If I go over a minute, then I guess I got to pay you for that time. But if it's okay to coach you for 30 seconds to a minute, put yes in the chat for those that just jumped on, because I didn't get the permission slip from you yet. I didn't get the permission that I was able to coach you yet, right? But listen, go to the next level now. Stop playing around. I do brand development. This is what I do. I help brands develop. Whether this is a personal brand or a business brand, I will help you develop this thing. And I'm going to coach you right now and give you some real quick game with same stuff that I would give to my clients. In order to go to the next level in this season, it's not about your marketing. It's not about your branding. It's not about your social media posts. It's not about you doing 15 reels in one day. I want you to focus on getting that mindset together, because if I can get you to be believing in yourself, to be more confident, to know that you are a successful entrepreneur. I had a client earlier, she said, I was going to promote my products more, but I didn't feel like a successful business owner, so I was going to wait till I got some sales and then I was going to do it. Stinking thinking. You got to believe that you are a successful business owner right now in order for you to take that action of what a successful business owner would do. Come on, y'all. I don't know how to properly explain that. Marlia, could you break this down in your way to make sure that they get, and they gave permission, so we good. Keep going.
So we're going back to that whole perception being your reality, guys. Whatever limits you have on yourself are literally going to be the limits that you will always walk in, okay? But fear not, guys, because those limits can be taken off. They can be completely obliterated through this mindset work, through this retraining the brain, whether you're reading books, like I got another book that I'm reading now, um, listening to affirmations, speaking the affirmations, doing the meditation that really transforms the subconscious, like the limits will be taken off. But it's so crucial. Okay, so I was listening to this guy. He's some billionaire. He was an Indian billionaire. I was listening to him on YouTube, and he was saying that some of his friends, after hitting the $1 million and $1 billion mark, still had financial problems because in their minds, they did not do the work. So sometimes we can do all this work in our reality where, yes, we can have the house, we can have the car, we can make the money in our sleep, we can hit the 7, 8, all these different figures, but they kept finding themselves losing the money because of their mindset. And this is a billionaire talking about his friends who can't keep their money. Wow. Because their mindsets are off. So all Manny and I are saying is that you have to do the work. And the work is reading the books and doing what the book says. The work is speaking well. Guys, when we say that the subconscious is so powerful, it's always soaking up. It's soaking up mom and dad said to you as a child, is soaking up with your friends are currently saying, like, girl, you can't do that. Are you crazy? It's always soaking those things up. And if 90% of the day you are a sponge of all of these negative things, there's absolutely no way that you can transform your mind so that you can transfer your life. So you have to be very intentional, because nobody's intentionally loving you. If you're not intentionally loving yourself, unless you got a good man, like I got a good husband, unless you got beautiful kids, like I got beautiful kids, there's not a lot of people that are pouring into you. If you don't have a coach, you're not hearing it. So you're going to have to hear it by talking to yourself. You're going to have to hear it by turning off your loud music, okay? Turning off the television, getting off of social media, plugging your earphones in and listening to I am wealthy. I am abundant. My gifts are making room for me. God does love me. I am protected. Because all day, the world, the news, your haters, your family members, even people who love you, are going to tell you things that don't always support your journey. So it's very important that you do that work, so you don't end up like these millionaires and billionaires who lose it all just because of your subconscious programming, because you have to get your own way, because you have to make a business deal that's going to go wrong, because you have to have friends and family that are going to steal from you. If you don't fix it in your mind, it will always be present in your life.
Mm. So you're saying we can't force things either?
You can't force anything, but you can change very forceful and hard situations to change.
Mm. Talk us through that process.
So I'm one of those people that really, really believes in the power of the mind and the words, and ultimately your faith. Whatever you believe, you will conceive. So let's just say there's this really burdensome situation right now. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, but you also work a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And there is somebody that has been on your back, right? This person is literally trying to get you fired. Mm-hmm. They're going behind your back, whispering, doing all these things. And it's kind of chaotic when you get into work. It's just this heaviness. If you would start just now speaking very good of that situation, or seeing and meditating on the good of that situation, you can start to see that situation change. For example, let's just say her name is Brenda. You could start saying, Brenda and I have a very good relationship. Brenda and I communicate effectively. Brenda is actually on my side. Brenda wants to see me succeed. Not only do you say these wonderful words about Brenda, but I want you to also see those words about Brenda. Maybe you're sitting in your car, Brenda just got on your nerves. You're like, I'm about to do this thing Marlia said, I'm gonna do it. Just sit quietly. See Brenda, close your eyes. See Brenda, see her handing you some coffee. See Brenda speaking up for you in a meeting. Like, this is your opportunity to be like a child and let your imagination go. All right. Now, the reason we want to add these words and we want to imagine it and get all of these wonderful feelings is because your subconscious is only changed by experience. All right. Any traumatic experience, any joy-filled experience, it has to be something where your emotions are heavily involved for you to change any of your thoughts. Of course, your thoughts turn into things. So the more you can see Brenda being kind, the more you can feel Brenda being kind, the more you can speak to Brenda being kind, you will soon see and really walk into a place of Brenda being kind. Now, y'all like, Marlia, this really doesn't work. I did this, guys, because I had a Brenda and I almost said her real name. I did this for Brenda. And not only did I remove Brenda from being this, Brenda had her foot on my neck. Brenda was trying to take me out, right? Not only did I get her to take her foot off my neck, but Brenda started coming to me for help. Brenda started coming to me for advice. Brenda started asking me how I was doing and got in a real humble position. All right. So I had a Brenda. I've also had a financial situation that I had to see, speak, and feel differently that had to change. So it takes some time, guys. It takes some time and some attention. But some people are literally able to switch things within 72 hours, within 2 months. Like, I have one of my clients, she could not co-parent with her ex. And I said that her issues with her ex were keeping her from being abundant in her business and her life. And it was this, both, you could not have hate where you wanted to have so much love. Like, you just could not. So we started doing the mindset work. We started speaking well of him together. I walked her through some guided meditation. She started seeing these things and just all of these amazing things. When I say they are co-parenting, a lot of the stuff that she was just talking about in 2021, she's literally walking into, like him offering to give her money, him wanting to pick up her son more than he ever did. But we just said it. We just said it for a long time. And things just shifted. Her belief system about him shifted. She just started to see him as a good guy. And literally now her business is booming because she don't have the ex issues anymore. So
absolutely. So and I think that what you're saying is real, because it's that situation of, you have these personal challenges going on that in many instances you never want to address, because you feel like, this isn't a part of my business, I don't even have to pay attention to it. But
it's funny. I know somebody doesn't have a successful organized business when they have a disorganized vehicle, when their
Oh,
house is junky, when their closet is a mess, when their relationships is chaotic, and they got sloppy friends around them, and they feel like, well, there's no big deal. That's just my friends. I've been down with them for a long time. But the very fact that you're connected to these group of people shows me that that's who you are. Like somebody truthfully said that your five closest friends, you're a sum of that. So let's just say on average, you're like some of them. Well, these are my close friends, so you got to get away from certain people. But it's like really changing your mindset of everything that who you believe that you are to get to this next level. Because that professional you, that $1 million you, that $1 billion you doesn't do some of the stuff that you do. And you keep thinking that it's okay to continue to perform that behavior. You're not going to get to the next level because you're always going to be bombarded with this thought of I'm not being true to who I am. And you're only going to have those thoughts because there's a part of you that believes, man, I need to level up, man. I need to step it up, man. I need to start eating better. I need to stop drinking all this pop and all this Pepsi. It tastes so good, but I need to just stop. I need to leave these chips alone. I need to do this. And I keep thinking that I can still be successful because if I just keep praying, if I just keep asking God to bless me, eventually He will, even though I got these habits that are disastrous. Listen, there's
yeah.
this amazing book, y'all tap in and read it if you haven't already. It's called Rich Habits.
Yeah.
Rich Habits. You can get it right on Amazon. You can listen to it right on YouTube. This book will literally give you a foundation of the habits of rich people, what they do on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. And if some of your habits don't line up with that, then you need to change some things because these are rich habits. It's
Yeah.
time for you to go to the next level, yo. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to start with you looking at yourself. The reason that I started focusing more on brand development because I kept seeing so many clients come to me and their marketing was on point, but they say, Manny, why am I not getting any sales? And after doing some evaluation, I said, man, you're not lining up with who you say that you are.
Come
You
on.
want to be this successful person, but you're not as confident as you know you need to be. You're not showing up for these sales. You're not even closing on sales because you don't believe that this is who you really are. Because if there's a program running on the inside of you that says, I can't really do it, I don't believe in myself, they're probably not going to close. But if you start believing it, every single time I talk to somebody, they close. Every time I interact with somebody, we have a delightful conversation, and they're going to see the value what I got to bring. That's
Yeah.
the kind of talk that you got to switch it up and start talking to yourself. Go ahead, Marlia, talk to me. I got to charge this phone up.
Please charge your phone. Oh my goodness, that was so good. But one of the things, and I want to get to this message about surgeries. I want to hear more about that. But one of the things you had said, I was thinking some people might not be able to be successful because God can't trust them with their success. He's like, I literally brought all this money into your life and you have nothing to show with it. You haven't spent any time with your kids. Your house is still a mess. You're still yelling and screaming at everybody. You have no patience. You're still unhealthy. I'm going to give you more money to what? Spread this craziness around? Like, no. I'm going to give you all this money so that you can waste it. No, I'm going to put it in a faithful person's hand. Somebody who I know is going to flip it correctly. Somebody who I know who's not going to invest it incorrectly. Somebody who I know is going to use this to expand their lives, their family's lives, and all these things. So that just, it made me think about that. But I wanted to, someone had said, sometimes it doesn't allow me to move the comments anymore. Okay, so I can't move the comments now.
Okay, which one are you trying to look at?
There was something about someone, they weren't approved to go back to work, so they had to come up with a new solution because they had had 4 surgeries and something had happened.
That was all in the chat?
Yes. I was reading it and then it moved up.
Shit, I didn't see all of that.
I can't, it won't allow me to move it down.
Okay, after
anymore.
my 4th total hip replacement surgery, the surgeon said he wasn't releasing me to go back to work as a stylist, nor even as a cosmetology educator, but it was my 4th surgery.
And then there was like a part 2 to it.
Yeah,
but
and then she said my plans did not include not working in the cosmetology business. I asked God what I am going to do. What am I going to do, I guess. That's when I started taking jewelry making and crocheting serious. I changed my mindset. That's what's up.
I love that. And that's another thing in the book, Think and Grow Rich, guys. This book helped me to create 6 different sources of income in less than 2 years. You can listen to it for free
Yep.
on YouTube. In that book, Napoleon Hill, the author, says that in every failure, there is a seed for success. And I love that this young woman said, the doctor said, there's no way. He would not approve me to go back in the industry that I'm educated in. And she could have just been like, all right, let me file for disability. That's it. I'm going to get this check every month and that's going to be my life. But she said, instead, I'm going to seek God and see if there's another way for me to make a living. And so it be, she's now in a completely different industry. And I love that she was able to find that seed of success, even though there was a failure. You keep on finding the seeds, people. You might have had a bad day. You might not have gotten any sales. You might have invested a lot of money and saw no return. But in that, I need you to just believe that there is a seed for success in that failure. There is something, there's a next step. There's a person that you can call. There's something that you can research. There's something that you can do that will literally lead you into your breakthrough. But you got to be able to see it. You got to find it. There is never a total failure ever.
Absolutely. Yep. And I love this other comment that said, then you transition your belief into knowing. And that's powerful.
Come on.
That's really powerful.
Oh, what were you going to say?
And then Verlina said she was 62 at the time. You were talking about that same comment. Now she's 75. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Verlina, for doing your thing at 75. Absolutely. You probably should have you call my daddy and be some inspiration from him to say, Daddy, look, Verlina out here doing the thing. Daddy, wake up, bro. Time to do something.
Your father and my father, because they're still in that mindset of, I just got to work really, really hard to do all these things and all of that. But I love that. I actually was just sharing on my stories earlier today. Like, it's not too late, y'all. It does not matter if you thought it was supposed to happen in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s. If it did not happen, it's okay. It's not too late. You still have today. You still have tomorrow. You still have the rest of this year, next year. Like, you can start now. Did you want to do it in your 40s? Probably. That would have been really cool to be there. But to do it in your 70s, better late than never. Like my clients, I love these women in their 60s and 70s that are just like, girl, I'm just about to try it. I don't got nothing else to do. Let me just try it. Like these women blow my mind. They don't know anything about technology, but they know that they have a dream and they are not going to leave this world without fulfilling it. So
and listen, y'all, for those that might not know this, Harlan Sanders, the one that made KFC, he didn't start KFC until his late 70s. So he was probably about 75, 76. Hey,
is funny.
Maybe it's time for you to, Verlina, go ahead and start your KFC version. Like, it ain't too late. Like, he started his in the 70s, go ahead and do it. But, you know, it is never too late, and it doesn't matter how things look externally. It does not mean that you can't have exactly what you want. Now, here's a transition for me as a Christian believer. I kept thinking that if I had enough faith in God, that was going to get me over the edge. That was going to give me all the blessings. But here was a problem. I wasn't studying my Bible correctly, because the Bible clearly says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, right? So I had to break that down the last couple of days. And I said to myself, okay, if it's saying let this mind, then that means that there was a mind inside of Christ. And if there was a mind inside of Christ, and since I know he was here on this earth, just like everybody else was a human being, he took on the likeness of a human being, right? Then that means he also had a subconscious mind. And that means that he also had to wake up every single morning and get his mind right before he started thinking disastrous thoughts. But what happened? When things got crazy and chaotic, you couldn't even find Jesus. Like, hey, where'd Jesus go? He up at the mountain talking to God, because God was not only his father, he was his mentor. And guess what, y'all? Yep, I'm going to tie right in there. He was his coach. God was Jesus' coach. He went to his coach and said, listen, I need some help. Some crazy stuff going on. Do you got any strategies, coach? What should I do in this situation? Right. But we can literally have whatever we want, but we got to start thinking differently. We have to start thinking differently. Some of you guys right now that's listening to me, you have reached a certain amount of success. That might be $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month. But now it's time to transition into $50,000 in one day. Now it's time for you to have $50,000 in 5 hours. Why not?
You don't think that it's possible because you've never seen yourself do it. And this is the reason that the fear keeps reminding you that you've never done it and that you should be afraid to even try. So when I ask you to enhance your brand and get a new logo, start doing more live videos, making sure that you are showing up within your brand, making the social media comments, reaching out to people that you want to collab with. You're like, well, no, they got a blue check mark. I can't reach out to them, man. Either you're probably going to say no. Why are you even setting me up for failure, man? Listen, because I want you to do it. I want you to get out of your comfort zone and realize that you can have this amazing life that you want. Awesome. It's going to start with you getting outside of your comfort zone. It's going to start with you doing some stuff that is scary as H-E-double-L. I don't even curse, y'all, so I'm spelling it out H-E-double-L. It's scared as hell, right? I'm just saying. Scared as hell. Some stuff you want to do is scary as hell. And you like, what in the world am I going to do? I don't think that I'm equipped. But guess what? You kept praying for this amazing vision. For, God, show me what to do. He gave this big old plan and vision, right? But now you don't think that you are also equipped with everything that's needed for this journey. You are. Why would he give you this amazing plan and not give you the provision for it? Why would he give you this amazing plan without the tools and the instructions and the assistance and the resources that you need? But you keep thinking that you got to figure it out all by yourself, which you don't. There's some amazing coaches that are in this world that are ready to help you, myself included. Marlia included. There's probably some other great coaches. You can probably literally just tap that arrow down and you can see all the amazing people that's watching right now that can help you get to the next level. Yeah. I'm not saying that you got to choose me or Marlia. I'm just saying that you got to pick somebody that's going to help you get there. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur, business owner doing it all by yourself. You're going to have to enhance your circle. You're going to have to enhance your mindset. You're going to have to be reading more books. And I'm going to give you a hack. Something that I only give to clients, but I hope you all taking notes. Get this game while I'm giving it to you. Get this game while I'm giving it to you. Instead of putting so much pressure on yourself to read books, start to listen to audiobooks. Go right on YouTube, get YouTube Premium. I think it's $12 or $19 is one of them every single month. Well, I don't want to make that investment. That's a lot of money to be paying for YouTube. I don't need that many. I think that you do need it in this season because the more you listen to books, what's going to happen, y'all? What's about to happen? Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. It's going to get inside your subconscious mind. And once it's there, then now you no longer have to use force to change the outcome.
There you go.
You literally are changing your habits because you're changing your mindset. So you're going to wake up one day and you'll see that big old pork chop and that bacon sandwich sitting right in the kitchen. You're going to be like, you know what? I ain't going to eat that today. I'm about to eat a salad. I'm about to start eating better. I'm about to start focusing on my health a little bit more because I'm trying to go to the next level. I'm trying to get my skin together. So, ladies, some of y'all don't understand that some of the food that you're eating is why your face starts to get all these pimples and bumps, and maybe your skin is not responding well to certain alcohol, certain wines that you're drinking, but you keep drinking. So, well, I gotta have fun. I gotta kick it. Listen, take care of your body so you can enhance your brand. Take care of your body so that you can enhance your brand. You're gonna go to the next level. I don't care if you do real estate. I don't care if you're a coach or a consultant. It's time for you to level up. But the only way to get there is for you to be much more accountable to somebody. Being accountable to yourself has not worked. It has not gotten you to this level that you want to be. Listen, some of y'all have hit 6 figures in 1 year. It's time for you to hit 6 figures in 1 day. That's not possible, man. Yes, it is very possible.
Let's talk
the mentor that I sit under, Myron Golden, he has students in his program that are literally making $1 million in 1 day. $1 million in 1 day. Some of us is waiting for $1 million in 1 year. People making $1 million in 1 day. It's possible. But you got to get out of your own way and stop thinking that you can just rely on your own intelligence. Why not tap into somebody else's intelligence? There's some smart individuals that have already been through what you're trying to get to. They've been through what you're trying to get to. Why not get some of that assistance so you can go to the next level? Talk to them, Marlia.
Where'd you hear that from? They've been through what you're trying to get
I just made it up. I just made that up.
I like that.
Yep, they've been through what you're trying to get to.
They've been through what you've been trying to get to. Again, guys, accountability is everything. If nobody is checking in on you or you're not checking with anybody, you know the secret stuff you do when nobody's watching. I know the secret stuff I do when nobody's watching. Start even if it's just once a month. Be very intentional. Like, what does April look like? And it's my hope, if you are an entrepreneur, that you kind of already are positioning things for April, if you haven't already started to release any launch strategies and all of that. But like, what does April look like? Does anybody know what April's supposed to look like? Have you shared with anybody your process, your rollout? Like, if you haven't, get some feedback. See if the funnels you have set up, if the content that you're preparing to really, like, see if it all makes sense. Because sometimes, guys, as amazing as we are, because we are all very amazing, we don't always know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of our content or on the receiving end of our marketing materials and all of that. So just bounce it off of somebody. Let somebody else hear and let them be your soundboard so that you can really even see if it makes sense. Also, for you guys who are wanting to do more of what Manny and I shared earlier, like making more in less time, like we believe that all business owners should work less than 20 hours a week. You did not leave corporate America to be working harder. Come on, y'all. Remember, you were the person down here. You were the implementer who had a boss. Now you're the boss. You need to hire implementers. You also need to have strategies and structure so that you can just spend more time doing the things that you love. That might be reading a book. That might be traveling with your family, where your phone could just be in the purse or whatever. Like,
I mean, and ladies, I mean, what you're saying is real, because I think that sometimes we minimize the importance of just sitting there doing nothing. Like, that's okay to just do nothing. Like, you might be a lady that loves just sitting on your couch and playing in your hair for like 30 minutes, just staring out the window. If that's what you want to do, you want to catch that vibe that day, go ahead and do it. But guess what? You're going to have to build the type of business that's going to give you the privilege and the right to be able to do that. Me in the mornings, I do have like some morning meetings. I play with my son, whether we do some learning. He would like to play on the Xbox. He'd like to play checkers. We just vibe and chill and have fun and run around the house sometimes. This is something that I am able to do because I've set things up for my business that gives me the right and the privilege and an opportunity to be able to do that. There was a time when I was working full time. I was so exhausted when I got off of work. I was like, look, man, I can't play with you right now. Like, I'm tired. I get some sleep and get ready to go to work tomorrow. I got to be mentally prepared just to go back into this crazy environment of this 9-to-5 job. So for those that are still working 9-to-5, listen, my heart goes out to you, because even if you got a super dope job that you enjoy, you are still going into an environment where they make and dictate all the rules. I remember working at a job, y'all. I was so tired of being on the phone doing customer service that I would hide out in the bathroom. And one time the manager came and got me and said, "Man, is you in here? Because it's been 30, 40 minutes. I would put some tissue down on the toilet seat, and I would just sit my behind on the toilet for about 30 to 40 minutes. It wasn't a lunch break. I would just sit there, act like I was using the bathroom, because I did not want to get back on the phone, y'all. That's my real life story, y'all. Real life story too. I didn't want to do it, y'all. And if you one of them people that be hiding out in the bathroom too, you raise your hand and say that was me. I get it. But now, y'all, full-time workers, let's start to transition. Let's get our mindset together and realize that we can have much more. You can have a successful, dynamic brand, but it's going to start with you. I used to think that if I marketed somebody correctly, that this was going to get them sales. Here's what happened. I marketed them correctly, but they didn't show up. So they still didn't get no sales.
I love that.
So now it's time to transition, y'all. I believe that you can be crazy successful. I'm talking about the type of success that you don't even know how much money you made last month because you ain't even counting no more. Come on, y'all, get to that point where you're making so much coin that you don't even realize how much you made. When you go to the restaurant, you don't even know how much the bill was, nor do you care. Sir, ma'am, take this credit card, please. And take my credit card instead of my debit card so I can get some cash back points.
Please. That's interesting that you said that, though, because there's a local business owner here in Cleveland who owns a boutique, and she was talking about, something. We got on a conversation. She was like, "Oh, so you don't be checking your account every day?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I do not. I don't." And I didn't realize that maybe that could have been something that I was doing, but I was just like, "No, I'm not. just not worried. I'm just not. I'm not. And it's cool to be that way, y'all. Y'all can be that way. You can be that way where you're not worried about any of these things, but also be very intentional. I mean, pay attention to what Manny just said. You can have the best marketing strategy. I mean, the best marketing company pushing you. You have the best graphics, the best reels. I mean, everything is set up. But if you are not set up within, it will all crumble eventually.
Yeah.
And quickly.
Facts.
And there will be no longevity. Okay.
But remember, money is a result of our majority feeling. Don't focus on the money. Focus on the sustaining of healthy feelings and lifestyle. Yep. Absolutely. I totally believe that. Because look, y'all, there's this book that I'm reading. I just said this before. I gave y'all this book called The Science of Getting Rich. Well, this same guy made a trilogy. He made another book called The Science of Getting Well and The Science of Being Great. Well, in The Science of Being Great, he talks about you being an advancing man, being an advancing woman, and constantly improving in every single area of your life, every single day, not taking no days off. You could say to yourself, that's exhausting. But how is it exhausting working on yourself, doing some type of personal development? I mean, reading some books, listening to some books, reading, like eating the right stuff, taking care of yourself every single day.
Yeah.
He talks about getting into this point where you're really enjoying your life. And when you start finally focusing on enjoying your life, it's no longer work, the things that you do day to day for your business.
Come on.
But many times we're in the wrong business, and that's why we're exhausted. That's why we're stressed out. And so you think that it's normal to be stressed out, like, well, every business owner is stressed out. You know, I got to be stressed out because I'm a business owner. That's not true. Are you in Cleveland too? That's what's up.
The comments have stopped a long
Oh, that's what's up. We got to all hook up and have
I
lunch
can
or
see you.
something together, all of us. So send me a message and send me a message on in the thing. Send me a message so we can hook up and talk. Since you're right here in
Instagram,
Cleveland, that's
I can't
dope.
see these at all. They're not letting me see the comments anymore. I don't know what happened. Mine just froze.
Oh wow, okay. Well, listen, y'all. Bottom line is, it's that time, it's that season for us to go to the next level. I believe that you and me and Marlia that's on right now, we can be super wealthy, y'all. And it's not just about the money, but it's more about this transition of living the life that you want. And I believe that with a lot of money, you can create a whole lot of dope experiences. You can go places with your family. You can buy things for your health and wellness. Listen, when I start leveling up and making more money, I start buying all the fancy, expensive vitamins at the store because I really wanted to take care of my health. Before, I would never spend $50, $60 for some vitamins because I felt like, no, it ain't worth it. And I was basically saying that I wasn't worth it. So I decided to transition from buying real expensive shoes and buying expensive clothes all the time to impress people and start spending that money on my health, leveling up. When I start doing that, I start showing up. Listen, y'all, this body that I got right now, Marlia will tell you. Tell you firsthand, I had to work on this body, and it took a lot of work because I was tired and exhausted most of the time, and I was comfortable with having this gut. When I decided and said, listen, I'm letting go of the gut, I'm about to get my mind right and about to get my body right, sales start coming in like crazy. And it was literally because I became more attractive for my brand. My mentor always says, instead of us trying to find leads, we just got to become findable. I believe the only way that you become more findable for these clients, right, is when you become more attractive. When you become more attractive on the outside and the inside, people will naturally be drawn to you because guess what? Who you are is who you attract. The people that are currently watching right now, you like Manny Hall, you like Marlia Hall somewhat to be listening to us. You have been attracted to us. We're attracted to you because of who we are. Now, if we were somebody else, you might not have been watching. You might have said, man, I'm about to leave a long time ago because you're not attracted to that person, not in a physical, romantic way, but more so just that vibe, right? When you are going to the next level and you go to this next place, you got to be cognizant of the person that you are so that you can attract those type of people back to you. When you do that, you're going to see your increase in money. You're going to see your increase in happiness.
It works tremendously well if you work it. I'm telling you, for those that have success with it, they're doing the work and they see all the fruits of it. For those that's like, man, I don't be want to listen to books. Man, I don't want to do this. Like, it just seemed too much work. This is the only way you're going to be successful, I promise you. This is the only way that you're going to be successful is if you get some game from somebody else. It's either in listening to books, reading books, having dope conversations, listening to live videos like this. You're going to have to be teachable in this stage. I was that person that was a little bit arrogant and prideful before. I didn't want to really receive from nobody else because I felt like I knew everything. I had to say, Manny, you got to be quiet and just be a student right now. In this season, man, you got to be quiet and just be a student. That's what worked for me. Marlia, as we close out, again, give them your contact information, how they can get in contact with you so we can roll up.
Select the link in my bio. Everything is there. Chat with me, write me directly. Let's work.
All right. Peace and blessings to you guys. Thanks for your time tonight. Talk to you soon.
Peace. Thank